All right, we're going to complete our demand handout as a way to review the determinants, the five things that shift the demand curve. First of all, some basic definitions. Demand is the same thing as a demand schedule or a demand curve, which is a picture of a demand schedule. What that is all the quantities demanded at various prices. Demand is not quantity demanded. If the price of beer goes up, for example, and people buy a lower quantity as a result, that's a change in quantity demanded, not in demand. Only if we had a whole new curve, a whole new schedule, would demand itself have changed. Now, I suppose the first variable to consider is price. But price does not shift demand. The demand, or the price rather, of squash does not change demand of squash. We simply have, there's a change in price. The quantity demanded will change, but we're simply moving along the curve. Demand itself won't change. Income will change demand. First of all, let's consider income and demand for normal goods. Normal goods are goods that you buy more of as your income increases, like, for example, steak. Okay, steak is a good example of a normal good. So, let's say our wages go up. Our variable here is income, and let's say they go up. All right. What does that do to our demand for steak? It goes up. If we have more money, we are more willing and able to buy larger quantities of steak. If our variable or our income goes down, our demand for normal goods goes down. Can't afford as much steak. Okay. Now, what about income for inferior goods? Most goods are normal. Okay, but some goods are inferior. And what that means is they're goods that we buy less of as we become more affluent. For example, Spam, the canned meat product. All right. Let's say our income once again goes up. What does that do to our demand for Spam? It's going to go down. We're going to buy steak instead, for example. Conversely, if our income or wages go down, our demand for Spam sadly goes up. We got to go buy more Spam because we're poorer now. So that's income. Let's consider prices of related goods. And there are two kinds of those. One kind of related good are substitutes. So let's consider this. What happens to this? Mopeds and bicycles. Mopeds are motorized bicycles. They have pedals. You know what bicycles are. So let's say, for example, the variable note is the price of mopeds. Let's say the price of mopeds goes up. How does that affect demand for bicycles? Well, the price of mopeds goes up. The quantity demanded of mopeds is going to go down. That's what the law of supply says. So people are going to buy fewer mopeds. They therefore are going to turn to the substitute, and demand for bicycles will go up. Conversely, if the price of mopeds goes down, quantity demanded of mopeds will go up. People will buy more mopeds, and as a result, they're going to buy less of the substitute, and demand for bicycles will fall. All right, let's consider a different kind of related good, complements, two goods that you use together, like peanut butter and jelly. Let's say we're talking about the price of computers. This is a variable. But we're talking about the demand for software. That's a great example of a complement, because those are two things not only that you use together, but you really can't use either one without the other. So let's say the price of computers goes up. What does that do to demand for software? Well, the price of computers goes up. People are going to buy fewer computers. Quantity demand is going to fall. If you're buying fewer computers, your demand for software necessarily will go down. Conversely, price of computers goes down. People are going to buy more computers. If you're buying more computers, you got to have software, and demand for software will go up. Now let's consider taste and preferences. This is about the simplest one. Let's talk about polo style shirts, short sleeve, 3-button shirts. Let's say it's 1980. And the preppy craze is all the rage. And so taste and preferences for polo style shirts are up. What does that do to demand for them? Well, clearly it's up. And now we're in the 1990s. Everybody likes grunge, and we don't like prep. Taste and preferences for polo style shirts is down. Therefore, demand for them is down. That one's very simple. Now let's talk about expectations, and specifically we're talking about price expectations. Note that I said price won't shift demand. That's true, but prices of related goods and price expectations will. So our variables of the price is our expectations about the price of gasoline. Let's say we expect the price of gasoline to rise later. How does that affect demand for gasoline now? Well, if I think the price is going to be $10 a gallon tomorrow, I'm going to run out and buy some gas now while it's still cheap. My demand right now is going to go up if I think the price is going to rise. If I think the price is going to fall to, say, $1 tomorrow, my demand for gas right now goes way down. I'm going to run on fumes and wait and get that cheap gas tomorrow. Finally, the number of buyers, the number of demanders. Let's consider immigrants. A bunch of immigrants move into an area. Number of buyers goes up. What does that do to demand in general? Well, it goes up. More demanders equals more demand. Conversely, fewer demanders or buyers equals lower demand. And those are the 5 determinants of demand.